Hello Year 6 and welcome to this week's Science. So have a look at the learning objective. So today we're going to think about how plants and animals are adapted to suit their environments and think about how this might actually lead to evolution. So have a look at these animals and plants and how are they adapted for life in their habitat. Polar bear, peppered moths, we thought about those a few weeks ago, didn't we? Cactus. You might not be very familiar with this one. It might be an unusual or new plant. It's a skunk cabbage. Okay, so you might want to pause the video and just have a think about how they're adapted for life in their environment. Okay, so what did you come up with? What about that polar bear? He's white, isn't he? So he can hide away, not really from predators, but he can hide away from creatures that he may want to eat. Because of course, if they saw him coming, they would head the other way, wouldn't they? How else is he adapted for life in the Arctic Circle? He's got a thick layer of blubber, hasn't he? Look at those pores as well and think about how those pores would make life easier for him living on ice. There's a lot that makes that polar bear great at living where he does. Now let's look at those peppered moths. On that tree branch, they're a really great example because I can see clearly one of those peppered moths and another one is quite is a bit more difficult to spot. It's quite well camouflaged, isn't it? So that's what makes those moths good at living in their habitat. Let's look at the cactus. So it's prickly, isn't it? That will stop things eating it. I wonder why they'd want to eat it. Have you ever cracked open a cactus or an aloe vera plant or any other succulent? So those are the thicker leaves. Yeah, they have a lot of liquid inside them. So those prickles stop anything from eating it up or breaking it up and then getting to that water. I wonder why it's flat like that as well. Perhaps that's something you could look into. So the skunk cabbage. We don't really have these here. They grow in America. But they grow quite early on in the year and the ground can be really frozen and really snowy. Actually, the skunk cabbage makes its own heat so it can break through. It melts a little bit of the snow and ice and it comes through. There's also a bit of a clue in the name. It stinks. So things don't come near it to eat it. Somebody in class wondered if that was a way to attract flies. They wondered if it was something the skunk cabbage would eat or would digest. So perhaps that's something you could look into as well. So now we're going to have a go at playing a blob evolution game. So there's our blob in the corner. So we're going to see some changes happen to this blob. We're going to see him evolving. So this is you. You are a simple blob. And slowly you're going to evolve over millions of years. Now it says I'm going to randomly allocate you traits that you can pass on. I won't be able to do that, so you're going to have to select some. This is so key to remember. Although you're able to select the traits today, of course our simple blob, none of us can choose those traits. It's just chance, it's just luck. They won't change during our lifetime, but over several lifetimes they may, and that process is evolution. So, let's see if you manage. Let's get started. So first of all, you're going to pick either wings or fins or feet. Now you don't know where you're going to be living yet, so it's a bit of a gamble, but have a go. Wings, fins or feet. Now pick your colour. Are you going to be yellow or green or blue? So by now you should know whether you have wings or fins or feet, and you also know your colour. Are you going to have really excellent vision? Maybe you can sense vibrations. Maybe you've got excellent hearing. I'd like you to pause the video now and select one of those, one from each line. So you can't have wings and feet. You have to choose one of those. Then for the next bullet point, you choose your colour, just one, and choose one from the final three. Okay, if you selected, don't forget that in nature you don't get to pick. It happens just through chance. Okay, so stand up and act out the trait you've been born with. Yes, you have to do it. So, if you chose wings, you need to stand up and flap your arms. They're going to be your wings. Did you choose a fin? Put it over your head so you can swim. If you chose feet, jiggle your feet so you can run away. If you feel silly doing this on your own, get somebody else to do it with you. Okay, keep going. Right, let's see if your trait is going to be a good one. The environment is changing. The new environment was the ocean. Only blobs with fins survive because they can swim. Oh, tough luck. Now, if you had feet or if you had wings and there's somebody else playing with you, hopefully one of you two have survived and got through. Let's see how we get on then. Yes, sit down if you had wings or feet. Now, your environment is changing. What was your colour? What colour did you select? Remember, in nature, you would just have been born with that one. Let's see if the colour is lucky. The new environment was seaweed. If you're green, you survived because you're camouflaged. Everyone else dies. Sit down. Now, the environment has changed again. Do you have goggles? If so, make the goggles with your hands. Pull your cheeks if you have an excellent sense of cheeks for sensing vibrations. If you've got good hearing, cup your ears. Let's see what our environment is. Who is it going to be suited to? The environment was the seabed. Sorry, if you had goggles, you just can't see down there. You need to sit down. But luckily, 2 groups get through. If you sense vibrations or you can hear well, you've survived. So congratulations. You've survived. You can carry on evolving. Well done. So that's what we call survival of the fittest. Now, does it actually mean that you are fitter? No, it just means that you're better suited to the environment. So you've evolved into a well-adapted organism. Congratulations. That process is natural selection. Only well-adapted organisms survive. Survival of the fittest. But remember, it doesn't mean that you are more physically fit than somebody else. It just means that you're better suited to the environment. Those new traits can appear randomly by chance. And if they're inherited by the next generation, then they will be adapted to that environment too. Evolution takes millions of years. Okay, so now let's have a look at these habitats. So we've got the depths of the ocean. Do you remember we just thought about depths of the ocean, and if you had excellent eyesight, it wouldn't help you because it's so dark and dim. What did creatures that would survive at the depths of the ocean need? Now, they may well have a sense of vibrations, or they may have excellent hearing. Another habitat is the brighter seaweed habitat. I wonder what traits would be suited for that habitat. Sorry about that, a bit of football excitement. And another habitat is a frozen habitat, just like that polar bear. And our final one is the hot, dry desert. Now, we want you to think about how creatures survive in each of those habitats. Do they camouflage a bit like that polar bear? Think about the colours that would be successful. What adaptations or what skills or traits will they have? Don't forget about those sense of vibrations or a sense of smell. Are they good at running? So you're going to design a made-up creature, and there's going to be a sheet just like this on the website. You can use this to create your creature. You did something a little bit like that with Mrs. Simpson. She made a swamp owl, and it had different colours, didn't it? Greeny blue colours, not like a real owl, but that would help it in its habitat. It would help it camouflage. Another adaptation of Mrs. Simpson's swamp owl was it had fins rather than wings. So we would like you to design a creature, a made-up creature to live in the habitat that you've chosen. So tell us what habitat your creature lives in, what adaptations it has. Think about how it hunts, or how does it defend itself if it's more likely to be prey to another animal. We'd love to see a labelled diagram of your creature and anything your creature eats. Have you got any interesting facts about your creature? We'd love to hear them. Okay, so have fun at making your creature. Make sure it's excellently adapted to its environment. Okay, have fun.